Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Ogre Battle March of the Black Queen, and don't let the lack of enemy units deceive you. We've been having a pretty tough time on this map. There's been quite a few close calls. Orpheus actually had to get into the fray in our last episode. An enemy unit snuck by, got really close to taking over one of the cities, and another enemy also snuck by. Didn't get as close, but still, it's always scary when an enemy unit gets past your front line, so... But we managed to, thankfully, be able to knock out those enemies. Like I said, Orpheus unfortunately had to get involved into the in the battle, but better to get him involved in the battle than to potentially lose the city and lose some reputation. Our reputation is holding pretty well, but if your reputation is not, it's even more vital to make sure you don't lose any cities. Losing a city will cost you 5 reputation points, and we need at least 70 to pick up the special character that's available in this map. So that's why I have to be extra careful with our reputation. So, but we're doing pretty well, so we don't have a problem with it. So, but it is nighttime now, and that means these enemies are going to be doing pretty well against us, so... It'd be nice to... Probably be better for our octopus, unfortunately, was on the other side. Take out that Cerebus. He has 3 hits, rather than the dragon, which only has 2, but... It'll be easier next time, so... Not that often that our octopus is the one that needs healing, so... Whew. Well, hopefully this unit just keeps coming after us. So, unfortunately, pushed up onto that cliff there, so gotta cut it off. So, one of the things that make this area a little bit harder that I mentioned is that there's quite a few enemy flying units that can bypass the rougher terrain, the mountains, the rivers, and the desert that can impede our units that are slow. So we don't have too many flying units because I don't really I'm trying to play with every single class here, so I didn't really load up on flyers. So, but if you're not doing like that challenge to play with every single unit, this map is a good showcase of why you want, why flyers are such good units. Flyers will also be good in the floating islands. We uncovered one when we found the Chaos Gate in the Balmorian ruins, and there's also a Chaos Gate in this map as well that we will uncover and lead us to another Sky Island. The Sky Islands, we were told back in the Castellation Sea, is where the 3 High Knights live, and they, along with 12 wizards, came down and aided the humans during the final battle of the Ogre Battle. The Ogre Battle is where humans and the angels fought against monsters and demons for control of the earth. And the monsters are actually winning. They drove the humans all the way back to the Castellation Sea area. And it wasn't until the 3 High Knights and the 12 mages appeared that they were able to turn the tide of battle and finally defeat the monsters and claim the earth for humanity. Even though that happened so long ago and people think that it's the floating Sky Islands are a myth, well, we know they're not, because 1, we found the location of one, it's actually on our map, and 2, the witch Mango back in the Castellation Sea, she also reminded us that her and her sisters actually visited the Sky Islands, so... But we will be going there as well. I will spoil a little bit there, but, you know, they're the Sky Islands, so they're in the sky, so it's very important to have flyers on that thing, or to be very, very careful when fighting, because if any of your units gets pushed off the island's edge, and they don't fly, they don't have a movement type for either low sky or high sky, they fall off the island, and you lose the entire unit. It's as if everybody in that unit was defeated. I mean, you can revive them all, of course, at a temple or with a revive item, but like I said, in this playthrough, we're not doing that, so. But, oh look, we have a Raven Man there, just 1 hit point. We've been had a lot of times when we've just been fighting enemies and leaving them with just 1 hit point, so really annoying. So we got to get that Worm's alignment to drop, so we can transform it into the Wyvern. So once a Wyvern, its back row attack becomes fire. It breathes fire. I guess it grows up into like a dragon. So worms are kind of like dragons. So Oro's unit here. This one's getting a lot of action. Woohoo! It's a good thing it always has its tactics set on leader. Always keeps trying to attack our witch, and she's the best target for that because she'll take the least amount of damage with her alignment and class. This might be a good chance to heal up this unit here. But of course, whenever I want a unit to be healed up, everyone's going to go before the cleric and finish it off. So, yay, we missed! Woohoo! Still end up losing hit points though, because hit the Eagle Man there for quite a bit of hit points. So, all right, well, let's push forward a little bit here. So we've taken out enough enemy units that I think that we can afford to move forward a little bit here. Eventually, you want to take over those towns there. So, and in one of these cities is where we will end up getting our special character. So, we've had a lot of success against that giant unit there. That Raven Man Cockatrice unit, though, in the middle, that's the one that managed to sneak past our characters earlier. Almost took over a city, but luckily at the very end, it decided to pursue Orpheus and turned around. So, but it's almost making a beeline straight for Orpheus now. So. But we may be able to trap it. It looks like we're going to set it up with a nice trap. We got a high-flying unit there, led by the Doll Mage, which is now a Doll Master, I believe, moving down. And we have that other unit that it bypassed. I think this is the first time we're fighting this unit without the Witch unit. So, nice, we could find another undead staff, undead ring. Transform other sorcerer into a lich. You just see how powerful just 2 hit all the back row attacks are. Getting a 3rd, just overkill. Plus the lich has really good resistances as well. It could almost be like a front-line tank almost. The only resistance that the Lich is really bad with is white magic, but I guess that's to be expected. You know, a Lich is basically an undead sorcerer, so. And because the Lich is undead, you can actually, if you try to like level down the Lich, you can level it down into a skeleton. I mean, that would be totally pointless to do, but it just goes to show, just further proof that, the Lich is, undead. So, but it doesn't have the undead's weakness where, or I guess strength if you want to call it, where it's immune to all damage, but instantly dies when hit with a white magic spell. So, that's good because toward the end, we'll start running into a lot of enemy units that have clerics, shamans, or the like that have white magic, or even angels and sylphs. And what that'll end up doing, it makes the undead very vulnerable. So now, of course, if you're just playing where you don't care if you lose a unit, more often than not, you'll fight units that don't have white magic available to them. But when you do, those undead, they fold like paper. So I don't get a lot of use of them out of this playthrough. I will eventually use the undead, but rather than just recruit the lower level undead, the skeletons and the ghosts, which you could get in the Pilgrim Forest, both of them available in the Pilgrim Forest, I'll end up getting wraiths and phantoms. And an interesting thing about, I'll show off later with the liches is, they can actually recruit undead anywhere on the battlefield. Normally, you can only recruit characters when you're in a city. It's like you get pulled from the population of the city. But I guess being, the master undead, the lich can pull, you can just send a lich with no characters in its unit and go out and just pull up some phantoms. So, pretty interesting. So, look. Phantoms are the upgraded ghosts, wraiths are the upgraded skeletons. So, ghosts, the phantoms I think are, it's kind of, they're a little bit better because they can give the low sky movement type to your unit. But the problem is, you usually want your undead in the front row where they can, be targeted and keep your other units from being attacked. But the phantoms don't make really good front row units because they just have a touch attack from the front row. They do better in the back row. They have a nightmare attack. Where the wraiths, they're a plains unit, but they have a strength-based attack from the front row, so they'll do more damage. So it's kind of a mixed bag, I guess, on which is better. The Sky unit is obviously, better, but they're not going to function very well in the front row. Although you could make a really powerful unit by throwing, a bunch of liches and princess in the back row, and then have the phantoms in the front row. That way it'll fly, and you don't really care about having its weakened front row attacks because you have so much back row attacks. 2 lich unit led by a princess would end up with 10 hit all back row attacks. The princess would have her 2 starlight attacks, and then the liches would each have 4 hit all attacks. The princess gives everybody an extra attack, including herself. So that's pretty much your like an end game unit that you really want to build to tear through bosses. The only weakness being that it can't heal itself between battles. But if you fight a physical unit, you won't have to worry about getting hits because the ghosts, the phantoms will block all the front row hits. But anything hit the back row, well, it can still be in some trouble. And yeah, at the beginning of this level, we basically had like no enemies on screen. Now they're just popping out of the woodwork. So, but luckily we've had no sight of that rumored assassin. Yeah, they were saying that well, some town said that there's an assassin on the loose, and another one said that somebody from the Empire is on the loose. We don't know. Don't know who to trust. We kind of learned that back in the slums of Zenobia area. We were told that Ash was the executioner. He executed the royal family, but then it turned out that it was really Prince Gar's, Empress Endora's son, who did it. He was just disguised as Ash through Rashidi's black magic, so... We gotta find out the truth for ourselves, so... And we'll find out a lot more of the truth and stuff, what's going on, and... when we start liberating some towns. But... we want to hold off on liberation until you can actually hold the cities, so it doesn't behoove you to go out there, do a bunch of liberations, and then not be able to hold what you liberate. So, like I said, we're doing some pretty good work here. The enemy lines are definitely thinning out, so... And our army is mostly comprised of good alignment units, so we tend to be fighting a lot better during the day. I mean, you do have a good mixture of units. That's how you obviously want to have your army, because all of one means you're not going to fight well at one point in time. Remember, this is strategy, so obviously you've seen, if you've been following along this whole time, that you know, it's a day-night cycle. So you want to have characters that fight well in both day and night. Good old Kraken's getting his use in here. Sadly, our Kraken will be hitting the bench pretty soon. Not because they're not a good character, but they do their best work in the water, and they're not going to be too much water coming up in some of the upcoming stages. There will be some water in the floating islands, though, but not a lot, so... Makes you wonder, though, like, how come all that water ain't spilling off into the... You know, how does the water stay up there? You know, you figure it would pour off the side of the, eventually it would pour off the side of the island. And then that should totally give away that there's an island floating up in the sky. There'd be a big waterfall just coming out of nowhere. Hey, this unit looks familiar. But, woohoo! Stunned everybody. Nice. So we can put our tactics to weak. Hopefully get some extra damage in. Our samurai in the middle there has a white magic weapon there. So he'll do extra damage to either the Cerebi or the Black Dragon, because both of them are evil alignment, and have to be to get that promotion. So the Cerebi have to have lower than 60 alignment, so they could be somewhat like neutral, but the Black Dragons have to be below 35. So. Looking at our Samurai Knights, both of them will be able to promote to their next class at level 15. Assuming they have Charisma 60 plus and Alignment 70 to 100, but that shouldn't be a problem for either of them, so... Yeah, the only problems we've been seeming to be having in terms of promoting is because our alignment is too high. One, Beastman has been able to promote to Beastmaster because his alignment is too high, and the same thing with our Worms. So we're either gonna have to get them to fight a little bit more, or go back and do some alignment lowering back in either Sham or the Deneb's forest, because there we can encounter level 1 dragons and pumpkinheads respectively. I found out, though, that it's usually better in Sharam, because even though the pumpkinheads are easier to defeat, and you don't really have to, you know, run a risk of being defeated yourself, because the pumpkinheads only attack once and only can half your hit points. The problem is that they seem much rarer. It's so much harder to get into neutral encounters with either of those, with the Pumpkinhead units in Deneb's Garden. It just seemed very, very rare, so... Well, you run into dragons much more frequently in the Charm District, so... This knight is really going off course. Don't know why that is, but usually they go straight across the... And yeah, we're really pulling out the enemy units here, because I think this is the second time we're fighting a unit of this composition in this round. Nice to find some more white magic weapons. So you can just see how much more damage that samurai in the middle there is doing. Couldn't see it right there because he hit the one that was pretty weak, but... So, getting to see how good high alignment units are doing against low alignment units during the night, so... Alright, we get to transform our characters here. So now the paladin, he'll get a shiny suit of gold armor. Same with the samurai. I like what the samurai master looks like, and both of them will now get 3 attacks from the front row. And the paladin gets a unique attack, well, not unique, but who in the back row as a knight, he just has a slice attack. We'll see what this knight does. So he just slices with 1 attack with sword. The paladin will get a healing, just like a cleric does, so... Not going to be a very good healer like a cleric or a shaman or the like of that class would be, because as growing leveling as a knight means it has lower intelligence, but it could function, you know, in a pinch against say you run into an undead a unit with undead and you don't have a shaman in it. Just move your paladin to the back row, and he'll use his healing to take out those undead. So it could be useful in a pinch. Samurai Master, though, seems to be, you know, a little bit better in the sense because it has that Ianuki attack, that physical attack, targeted attack. So you know, we see a Samurai Master there in the middle. I like the color scheme. It just looks really neat. So. Cool looking costume he has there. So, I like red though. Red is my favorite color, so I guess it's a bonus that it has red on it. So, yeah, new fancy wardrobe. 42 more experience, so he might actually might be able to level him up too. Because it looks like that unit, Aura's unit there, is going to end up taking out those other 2 units up there, because no one else is around to help her out. But we'll end up having to rotate our other... They'll end up going on the bench then. Allow our remaining knight to get some levels and promote to a paladin. And any other... I don't exactly remember how many samurai and knights I'm having here. I think I've cut everything down to where I have 2 of each. And then eventually they'll be further cut down. So, yeah, there's quite a few, pretty much for the next few maps, we will be getting special characters. And special characters, of course, come with units with them. They don't just come by themselves. So, we will be getting a lot of units into our army, so that's why we'll be trimming the fat, I guess you could say. Just makes it a little bit easier to manage our army, so we'll end up looking at all the stats and seeing who's grown best. Well, that was nice. We ended up the samurai took out the dragon. That means our samurai master there with the white magic weapon will have 3 attacks against this demon. So yeah, it should fall easily. I retreated there because I want to get closer. I wanted to fight this unit here. Orpheus's unit is about ready to liberate that city, those two cities right there. And this is a flying unit. We don't want Orpheus's unit to fight. We want to try to avoid that as much as possible. And if we would have ended up defeating that unit back there, we would never be able to move back fast enough to catch this unit before it reached one of those cities. So by just taking that retreat, and yeah, everyone lost 1 point of charisma, but the only one who has to worry about charisma is that samurai master, is the samurai. He's the only one who hasn't promoted yet. So everybody else, well, the whatchamacallit, the shaman also has to promote yet to the final monk class. But the witch, the paladin, the middle samurai master, you know, they're already at their end classes, so alignment and charisma ain't as important for them because they're never going to promote or change anymore. So we wanted to take out that dragon, because that thank you, Valkyrie, because our Raven man there on the right, he's hurting. He's right in the way of the dragon. The dragon was right in front of him, so thankfully we've seen from the thing though, the dragon in the back that can target with its fire attack. It seems to be targeting the strongest character. It was attacking the other Raven man, so. Well, there are other samurai just leveled up, which I assumed that it would. Oh, full moon. We can get another Tiger Man with the full moon, but we don't need any more Tiger Men. We got 2 of them already, so. And hopefully we fought this. We ended up fighting this unit before it whatchamacallit, reached that temple. So it doesn't matter the Halloween we have it in the front row there. Halloweens can actually be a decent front row unit. They actually have decent resistances. And it doesn't matter if they're in the front row or the back row, they're going to use their 2 pumpkin head attacks. So, but I just wanted to quickly protect my weakened Raven Man and Eagle Man there, so. And I think we've pretty much almost wiped out the enemy units, so. Let's start moving characters back. And we'll have that unit there. High Sky, it's not really a nice unit, so not necessarily one you want to liberate a lot of things, but Orpheus is going to be too busy liberating a bunch of stuff on this side, so he can't afford to go back. Trying to make good time here, so. I heard that the beautiful dancing girl who escaped from the Empire's here, but rumors she's actually the Empire's greatest assassin. I wonder if that's true. I don't know. Well, another day of losing money, but that's okay. We lost money twice on this map, but we had slow progress, so. But money ain't too much of an option, as you can see. Ain't too much of a problem, I should say. As you can see, we're like rolling in the dough. We almost have we have more than 500,000 goth, so, which is the currency, and we really have nothing to spend it on, so. Empress, good card. Heals everybody, 100% in battle. We do have something I can spend it on, but we won't save that for later. Have you heard there's some kind of monster in the valley? Looks like a beautiful woman, but it's actually a giant scorpion. It's killed 20 people already. Kind of scary, huh? Yeah. It would be like a were-scorpion. I know in whatchamacallit, I think it's in Dungeons and Dragons, there's like a whole bunch of different like were stuff. There's like were-tigers, werewolves, were-bears. Pretty much any animal that you can think of has probably a were thing. I haven't played Dungeons and Dragons in decades, so maybe I'll have to tell that story later on. But never really had a lot of fun with it. Well, there was a few interesting stories I had with it, but it wasn't necessarily my cup of tea. So, but it did help me, you know, learn about stories and help expand my imagination. So, I had a group of friends in high school who were pretty much into it, and then ran into some old friends from grade school when I got to college. I hate the Empire, but I have to respect the Paladins. Paladins aren't just normal fighters. Even during the Empire, they still live by honor and justice. I wish there were more Paladins. Well, we just got one in our army, so... And hopefully we'll get some more in future episodes, so come back and we'll continue to try to unravel the mystery of the dancing girl, scorpion, assassin. We don't know what's going on, but we'll find out next time. Take care, have a good day. Bye.